Trebinje is in the far south of Bosnia and Herzegovina, just a few miles from the borders of Croatia and Montenegro. It's known for its relaxed pace, Mediterranean climate, and beautiful scenery. From Mostar, we made the short journey by bus. We'd intentionally planned some downtime here, and Trebinje turned out to be the perfect place for it. Our apartment was huge, comfortable, and incredibly well equipped, and it quickly became one of our favorite stays on our travels so far. We had a small balcony out back, while the front windows looked out over the river. It was a great place to slow down, settle in, and simply enjoy everyday life for a while. After settling in, we headed to a nearby grocery store to grab some lunch and got a surprise twist. We definitely weren't expecting our food to be delivered by a robot. This was a first for us and not something we imagined we'd encounter in a town of only about 30,000 people. We discovered Trebinje has an impressive grocery scene. Not only are there a surprising number of large, well-stocked supermarkets, but there's also a great open-air market with plenty of fresh produce and local goods. We set out to explore the town and quickly realized we'd arrived on a very special weekend, Moto Weekend, Trebinje's annual biker festival. The city was absolutely packed with motorcycles parked as far as the eye could see and riders from across the region filling the streets. It made for a lively atmosphere and quite a memorable first look at the old town. After taking in all the excitement, we escaped to the shade and tranquility of City Park before making our way to the Temple of the Holy Transfiguration. Built in the late 1800s, this Serbian Orthodox church is one of Trebinje's most important religious landmarks and is known for its beautiful interior frescoes. One of the most unusual features is a mural depicting not only saints, but also notable historical figures like scientist Nikola Tesla, blending faith, culture, and history in a unique way. The peaceful setting provided a nice contrast to the festivities taking place just outside. We continued wandering through the beautiful park and eventually stepped into the walled old town. It's a charming area of stone buildings with red-tiled roofs, now filled with small shops, cafes, bars, and restaurants, but still holding on to its historic character. We passed a small mosque, and nearby we also came across the centuries-old olive tree, a symbol of endurance in the heart of Old Town. Not far away stands the clock tower, built in the early 18th century and once used to regulate daily life in the city during Ottoman times. From there, we made our way down toward the river to take in the calm water flowing through the center of town. It was a peaceful contrast to the energy of the biker festival, the river moving slowly past the stone walls with reflections of the old town rippling across the surface. We stopped to cool off and get a drink at The Underground, a nearby bar just off the main street. It has a really cool live music setup, and we considered sticking around for the music until we learned it doesn't actually start until midnight. We quickly realized that was an adventure a bit beyond our bedtime these days. Our apartment overlooked the road where the motorbike parade was passing, so we had a front row seat to the action without even leaving home. First, we were struck by the sheer number of bikers participating. The parade just kept going and going and going. It felt like there was no end in sight as wave after wave of bikes rolled through the city. And the next thing we noticed was just how loud some of them are. Another perk of our apartment location was being right next to Bazen Bregovi, one of Trebinje's most popular summer spots. Built as a large open-air river-fed swimming complex, it's free to enter and has become a real gathering place for both locals and visitors. We ended up spending quite a bit of time here. The complex is huge with an enormous pool and several cafes scattered around the grounds. The water is continuously fed from the adjacent Trebišnjica River, which keeps it fresh and moving and also means it stays impressively cool even in the height of summer. If you want a little more comfort, like we do, you can rent lounge chairs and an umbrella for about $6, which felt like a very reasonable way to spend a relaxed afternoon by the water. The pool was still pretty chilly on most days, so Troy definitely braved it more often than I did. On one of our visits, we tried the on-site restaurant, which has a beautiful terrace overlooking the river, a perfect place to sit and slow down for a while. Another afternoon, we watched a summer storm roll in from under our umbrella, though it didn't stop some of the more dedicated swimmers from staying in the water. We also ended up there on a hot, crowded weekend when the water actually felt a bit more inviting. We grabbed some poolside pizza and ice cream from the summer cafe and settled in for a very easygoing afternoon. All in all, it ended up being a fantastic place to cool off, unwind, and soak up a bit of local life. We heard about this product here. It's called Kokta, and it's kind of a Coca-Cola equivalent, but local, and it's supposed to have more of like an herbal taste to it. So we got one to try. We have not tried it yet, so we're gonna try it and let you know how it tastes. Looks like Coke.
Smells like Coke. Okay. It doesn't quite taste like Coke.
No, it doesn't quite taste like
close.
Coke.
It's caramely.
Yeah, it's almost got like a vanilla or a caramel kind of undertone to it.
I don't know about the herbal though. It's not really herbal. No.
It's tasty though. I like it. Is it growing on you?
I was thinking how it would be with some Captain Morgan.
The next day, we headed up the hill to one of Trebinje's most iconic landmarks, the Herzegovina Trebišnjica Temple. Perched high above the city, the church offers breathtaking views in every direction. There's even an amphitheater built into the hillside, which overlooks the river and the old bridge below, making it easy to see why this spot is so popular. We stepped inside the temple, which serves as the final resting place of Jovan Dučić, one of Serbia's most celebrated poets and diplomat. Born in Trebinje in 1871, he spent much of his life abroad and wished to be buried on this hill beneath a church inspired by the medieval Trebišnjica Monastery in Kosovo. Although he died in the United States in 1943, his remains were eventually returned to his hometown in 2000, the same year the temple was completed and his dream was finally fulfilled. After exploring the church and the grounds, we browsed the small gift shop before making our way to the large cafe on the property. With a cold drink in hand and beautiful views stretching out over the city below, it was a great place to slow down for a while and appreciate just how compact Trebinje really is. In fact, you can see our apartment from this balcony. On our way out, we passed a peacock that was putting on quite a show for the ladies, proudly strutting around with his feathers fully spread. And not to be outdone, we encountered a few more members of the local wildlife as we walked down the hill, several turtles making their way along the path at their own leisurely pace. We made our way down to a small winery about a 20-minute walk away. Honestly, we weren't even sure that it was open when we arrived, but almost immediately we were invited to join a couple of local gentlemen on the terrace for a glass of wine. We spent the next hour chatting and enjoying some delicious wines. When it came time to leave, no one would even let us pay, so the least we could do is buy a bottle to take home with us. Before heading back, we wandered through the nearby vineyard, once again marveling at how incredibly kind and welcoming we found the people of Bosnia and Herzegovina to be. Sometimes it's these unexpected encounters that become some of the most memorable moments of a trip. The next day, we took a 10-minute taxi ride for about $6 to Tvrdoš Monastery, one of the most important spiritual sites in the region. Before entering, visitors are asked to cover their shoulders and knees, so Troy, along with plenty of other visitors, took advantage of the wraparound sarongs provided at the entrance. The monastery sits among vineyards and olive groves and has a history stretching back centuries. The present monastery largely dates to the 15th century. Inside, one of the most fascinating features is a section of glass in the floor that allows visitors to look down at the remains of a much older church beneath. It's now one of the most important Serbian Orthodox monasteries in Herzegovina. The monastery is also known for producing its own wines and olive oil, with vineyards surrounding the property and a winemaking tradition that dates back for centuries. Our next stop was the cellar to try some of the wines. For just a couple of dollars per pour, you can build your own tasting and enjoy it in the cool stone cellar beneath the monastery. It was a perfect break from the summer heat. We tried 4 wines altogether, but one stood out as our definite favorite.
That is so nice. It's very sweet.
Just up your alley.
Yeah, just up my alley. Full bodied, I would say. Very nice. Fruity, the red fruits for sure. More than maybe just a grape, maybe raspberry a little or something. I'll have to check into that. It's really good.
Not quite ready for the wine tasting to be done, we made one more stop on the way home at Trebinje Winery. Set among a huge vineyard just outside Trebinje, it also has a beautiful restaurant with sweeping views over the vines and surrounding hills. When we arrived, we somehow had the place completely to ourselves, which made it feel even more special. They don't offer a formal tasting flight here, but we enjoyed a couple of glasses of their wine while taking in the peaceful setting. The views alone made it worth the stop. The bartender noticed us taking photos, so she brought us out onto the terrace and basically gave us an impromptu, professional-level photo shoot, making sure we had the best angles and backdrop. We ended up leaving not just with good wine memories, but some of our favorite photos from Trebinje too. Our last stop in Trebinje was this cute little dessert cafe that we ended up returning to a few times during our stay. Sometimes desserts look better than they taste, but that definitely wasn't the case here. Everything we tried was rich, fresh, and genuinely delicious. It felt like such a sweet way to wrap up our time in this charming town that pleasantly surprised us with its relaxed vibe, friendly community, and easy, everyday rhythm that made us feel at home far sooner than we had expected.